God replied, don't ask me to leave you and turn back. Wherever you go, I will go. Wherever you live, I will live. Your people will be my people, and your God will be my God. Wherever you die, I will die, and there I will be buried. May the Lord punish me severely if I allow anything but death to separate us. Let's stop there. I discovered that life can be summarized into 4 chapters. And I discovered that seasons in life comes in 4 chapters. And I discovered that seasons every year also comes in 4 segments. I discovered that there is the winter. The winter. The winter is the most harshest time of the year to every person somehow, if you really want to admit it. In winter time, the roads are slippery when you are driving. In winter time, if you are in Manitoba or you are in Winnipeg, you understand that in winter time, when it's freezing cold and the roads are slippery and the cars are skiing over there, that somehow some people are falling under the weather. So the roads are slippery both for the cars and for the people walking. In winter time, I also discovered that when you look to the skies, the snow is falling. Yesterday, I remember we were leaving the church. I came to the church to address some people. And as we were leaving the church, we came to the church. It was okay. But as we were leaving, we just have some flurries coming down. And I said, okay. But you know, we're grateful to God this year. We didn't have much snow, but we had cold. In winter time, the wind is very harsh. Usually, it is not the -19 that is the issue. It's not the -30 that is the issue. It is the wind that blows the cold. That if you expose any part of your skin, many a times, have you ever gone out of the city and you're not properly dressed and the wind is blowing and you are not sure if it is your body again? Or you're not sure about that? You guys have not experienced that? Or then you're not living in Manitoba, you're living somewhere else. Have you ever been standing in the bus and when you are talking, you are not sure? Like if your lips are actually opening. I'll never forget, there was a day I walked to try to share the gospel on this road. One of the Wednesdays. And that night it was -39. And I wasn't properly prepared because somebody took my car. So I left here and I said, I will not allow this to stop me. I will never forget this year. I'm not joking, I tell you the truth. And when I was coming back, I want to close I wanted to close my eyes, like to blink my eye like this. My eye will not even move. I'm not joking. -39 that day. Because I was out, I don't have a chook, I didn't have a mint. No, because somebody took the car. But I said, no, I must go out. I must share the gospel. And I remember out there, I couldn't feel some of my fingers. And I told God, I said, God, I am sharing your gospel. I must not have a frostbite. We must have an agreement. I am not out there doing anything. I must not get a frostbite sharing the gospel. What will I tell them? I was sharing the gospel and I got a frostbite. Where is the testimony? But guess what? I came to a time that I wanted to close my eyes. I have to use my hand. I'm not joking. I'm a pastor. I'm standing here. I had to use my eyes, my hand. I'm being very honest with you. It happened here. That's how cold it gets here. I remember that night it was -39. But if it was just a slippery road, or the cold that blows, or the snow that falls, I would have taken it. But there is something that happens in the atmosphere that not many of us do like. The atmosphere changes easily. It is dark. One of the causes of depression is the absence of sunlight. The winter is dark. One of the times when people are depressed the most is during winter times, because things are dark. And in life, you go through winter. You go through some dark situations. You go through some slippery situation. You go through some harsh situation. And the challenge is that, why are you going through that? And I ask myself a question. Every time I go to Sageville, I talk to Justin. I say, Justin, can you give me a good news? He said, well, I wish I can make the good news because you are the one that tells us the weather. Can you just try to give us a ray of hope? When is this harsh winter going to stop? I don't know. You know, they normally bring, which kind of animal is it that they bring to see if he sees the shadows? The winter is almost over. Bro, okay. I'm not sure if they've brought one, because I feel like I can beat a brown hog myself to go tell them I can see my shadow. Let this winter end very soon. But the winter is very important in part of the season of life. The winter is when many people, for Ruth, the text I just read, for Ruth, the winter is the time she lost her husband, Mahlon. For many of us, the winter is when things are tough on us. But as I talk about this, I want you to understand that, please bring it to mind, that there are 3 names that are very important for every one of us. 3 names. Number 1, there is your birth name. When you are giving birth at Health Science Center, St. Boniface, or wherever you were giving birth, before you came, they decided your name already. So when you are coming out, they have a name for you. You have no choice about that name. It is what your parents decide to say. If they like, they call you Mr. Livingstone. You are a living stone. But you are alive, but you are a stone. You understand me? If they like, they call you Blue Ivy. Sorry. Huh? If they like, they call you whatever they want to call you. So every one of us, when we were giving birth, to have a name. Look at your neighbor, say that includes you. But as you grow up in life, there is a name that is given you, which is not your birth name. It is a name that is given. It is a name that is given based on the circumstances you are going through. So number 2 is your given name. I'm not so much interested in the name that they gave you when they gave birth, your birth name. I'm interested in your given name. What do people call you? For this person, you know what they will call this person? They said this person's name, they said, is a widow. Widow. What does it mean to be a widow? A widow means you've lost someone. Hallelujah. So when they were talking to her, guess what they were saying? They're calling her the widow. Please, is that her last name? Why do people define you based on your circumstances? That's the name they gave you. And many a times they try to call it behind you. And sometimes you allow it to stick. The next name is a secret name. The secret name is what you believe in yourself. The secret name can be the same name as your birth name, but usually it's not the name that you're given, because they gave you the name out of spite. Mostly people don't look at you to call you good names. Do you know that this world is tough? Hello? Oh, okay. The reason why you don't believe the world is tough is because you are still 19. By the time you are 45, like somebody said, I'm 45, you ask her, she'll tell you, it's brutal out there. I know you like watching Shark Tank. This one is more than Dragon's Den, it's Shark Tank. The world is tough. The conditions are tough. Life is real. What happens when life happens to you? You have your birth name, you have your given name, but you have your secret name. The secret name is what you call yourself. It's what you believe in. So Ruth's secret name is the meaning of her name. The meaning of the name is beauty. The other meaning of Ruth is friendship. That's why you're here. Look at your neighbor sitting close. You're seated close to your friend. Just say, you're my friend. You're my Ruth. But let me tell you this. It It means beauty. But how can a beautiful person be going through an ugly situation? It reminds me of the movie that myself and my daughter have to watch the other day. It's called Beauty and the Beast. And I love it. Because it shows the reality. If you can love the beast in me, you will get the beauty in me. Good. Have you guys seen the Black Panther yet? Is it worth going? Okay. It is? Okay. So I'll go and watch. I'll take my wife. I'll take her on a date. We'll just go and watch it. Oh, you don't want to see it? No. I want to go with you, baby. That's my Valentine gift to you. Anyway, back to the message. We just broke out for commercial. Let's welcome our internet audience one more time. Let's welcome them. Life gives us winter. And during winter, it's very challenging. Life is tough. Things are hard. Things are tough. Things are difficult. And many a times, I could take the slippery road. I could take the snow. I could take the wind. But what do I do with the darkness? The darkness is when I don't see. The darkness is when I don't have a direction. What do I do with that darkness? Life offers us those challenges. That at this place, it looks as if things are tough. But let me tell you this, that it is during those times that we build our toughness. In fact, research carries it that trees, when the condition is harsh, that is when trees grow more roots down. That is when you find trees growing down. Their roots growing down. You know why? Trees need to grow down because they're trying to look for water and they can't find water on the surface. So when the condition is dry, it is going what? Down. And it is discovered that oranges are sweeter. Not the kind you drink here. The oranges are sweeter when the condition is harsh. They bring out the sweetness in them. Through adversity, people tend to be more nicer and kinder. Hear me this. Right now in Winnipeg, right now in Canada, right now in North America, we're going through winter. But I want to ask you a question. Is this winter time in Australia right now? What is this time in Australia right now? Hear me. It means that sometimes you may be going through a winter, somebody's going through a springtime or a summertime. Never ever you be deceived. The challenge is when you see me go through my winter and you think that, why is he going through, why, you say, he's maybe a sinner, he's this or that, that's why he's going through a winter, that's why things are tough for him right now. No, every one of us have to go through the winter of life. It's called the seasons of life. And the reality of the matter is that if you are 20, you may not understand it because your first 20 years, you may not go through a season yet. If you are 30, you may not understand it because the first 30 years, you may not go through a season yet. It's those times that you are all over on social media, all over, things are happening good for you. But if you have hit 35 and you are in 40, and you will understand that there is a season in your life that things are tough. There is a season that you are alone. Do you know that during winter, you hardly see people? That even if you see them, you don't recognize them. That even if you recognize them, none of them is actually interested in staying to hang out with you. During summertime, you see them walking with their dogs and they want to stay in front of your house and just have a conversation. But during winter, everybody is in the prison called their house or their winter wears. It is a lonely time. During winter is the time when many a times your friends are no longer there. How many of you just feel like visiting people when it is minus 55 and there is a snowstorm? How many of you like to do that? If you are doing that, it's because you have to. And during the winter time is when you are lonely. But the mistake a lot of us make is that you see somebody going through their summer and you going through your winter, and you are jealous of their summer, not knowing that your winter is not going to last for long. But the challenge I have is that even though I say that the winter is not going to last for long, in Manitoba, winter is the longest season. So that brings me to a place where what happened when the season of my life seems to not come to a close? What happened when I'm trusting God for the fruit of the womb? What happened when I'm trusting God for the healing? What happened when I'm trusting God? And yes, we hear the testimony. You appeal and you get it. Yes, I'm grateful to God for the people that come to testify. I'm asking, what about me that is waiting for the testimony? When will the winter of my life be over? We go through that situation, and that is the chapter 1 of life. Ruth found herself in chapter 1. Number one thing she discovered is that she lost her husband. She lost her father-in-law. And then she has to make a decision to leave her homeland. She decided to leave Moab. You know why? Because even in the winter time of her life, Ruth discovered that. I need 2 volunteers. Ruth discovered that during the winter time of her life, that this may be a Naomi, and this may be Ruth. Ruth discovered. So you guys are going to preach with me for the next 20 minutes. Ruth discovered that I may not see it yet, but I can sense it. One of the things that God gave women is the power of intuition. A lady can sense some things. Ladies have that intuition. It's something that God gave them. Ladies, do I have a witness? Yes. A lady can be walking past that place. A lady can just be walking right now. And a man has no clue. A lady can know that those people are they were talking about something else, but they just switched to talk about her. In fact, a lady can tell you, as I'm going right now, they are looking at me up and down. A man has no clue. What are you talking about? You understand me? But that intuition is a gift. It's a grace. I pray for all of us men that the Lord will give us that intuition too in Jesus' name. I love the way Isaac said amen. Isaac said amen twice. Ruth, her name means beauty, had an intuition that even though I lost my husband, even though I lost my father-in-law, she had an intuition. Can I have one more volunteer? Prince here is Oprah. Esther, you are what? Ruth. And you are Naomi. Look at how, as life happened, all of them followed her. But that's the chapter 1 of life. What connects the 3 of them is that they've all lost something. Hear me. You may have lost something. I may have lost something. But I have something, I'm trying not to preach. I'm just trying to just talk to you today. I may have lost something. You may have lost something. But I still have something that if you can stick with me, you may get it. This woman lost her husband. She lost her 2 sons. And she's on her way back to Bethlehem, the house of bread. And these 2 only lost their husbands. But they stick with her. When they were going down the road, she stopped to test them. And the testing is, can you guys go back? It is the same thing that happened in 2 Kings chapter 1. When at Gilgal, Elijah told Elisha, the Lord has sent me. Go back. Because Gilgal is a place of circumcision. Circumcision is not easy in the flesh. Winter is not easy to the body. Chapter 1 of life is hard when things are not going rosy. They held her. They wept. They all wept. And this one kissed her. Goodbye. and she left. But this one, whose name means beauty, sensed, I have nothing to go back to. Even if I go back, I go to a cursed place. I want to stick with you. I don't know where you're going to, but I have a sense that if I can stay with you long enough, that there is something that he will drop. I know you may not be the Messiah, but you may be a signboard to my Messiah. I know you carry something that I need, that if I can hold on enough, somebody is going through a winter time of their life. If you can just hold on in that hope, knowing that weeping may endure for a night, but joy comes in the morning. If you can just hold on to God rather than give up. She said, they may call me a widow, but my name is not a widow. My name is beauty. If you can just hold on to that. We may be sharing some things we're going through right now. We may be going through some difficulties right now. But I know that you carry something that I need. I wonder if God has brought some people in the winter time of your life. I don't really so much appreciate people that show up in the harvest time of my life. Because those are not the people I call my friends. People that all of a sudden wants to be your friend. When you are now made the local government. People that all of a sudden know your house. When they see that you are driving. People who all of a sudden, when they see, especially in this crazy society where social media displays everything. When some of us were growing up, whatever happens in the house. But this day right now, not even the millennial, this new, I don't know, what do you call themselves, Gen Z? Apart from millennial, the Gen Z. The Gen Z generation. What happens, not just in your house, what happens in your heart, the Gen Z bring it out. That's why they have what you call those signs. I don't even know how to use them. Some for sad. So the emojis, you tell people that you are sad. You tell people you are happy. And as for some of us, we understand where we come from. When they see you are sad, they are happy. When they see you are happy, they say, oh, the witches did not do their job. So they go back to the witchcraft and pay them more money. I say, please. So guess what? The real people that you need around you are the people that are with you when the situation is tough. The Bible says, rejoice with them that rejoice and mourn with them that mourn. I discovered that people only rejoice with you when people only mourn with you. But I want you to know that mourning is not what I'm talking about. The mourning I'm talking about is when life is tough. When there is nobody around you. When situation is so difficult for you. When you don't know what to say, when you don't know what to do, when you don't know where to go to. That is what I'm talking about. Who are the people around you when situation is tough? Who are the people around you when challenges are there? Who are the people around you when life is hitting you hard? Who is around you? Who comes to you? Who comes around you? What are they trying to get from you? That is what I'm talking about. She says that if I can stay with her, I can get. And she was staying not because of what she will get, but because of what she saw. Life throws at you harsh times, tough times. You may not be going through it right now, but trust me, there cannot be a sweet orange without a harsh condition. And I know you like me as a pastor to stand up and to say, it's going to be all right. That is true. But I'll be deceiving you, not giving you a balanced diet. Medicines that last long in your body are the ones that have bitterness. The ones that work faster in your life. Is to tell you that life throws at you the winter. But that's the chapter 1. She stayed with her in chapter 1. Some of you are going through your chapter 1 right now. I don't know what your chapter 1 is. For some of you, your chapter 1 is when friends left you. You say, Pastor, you're taking too much time in chapter 1. Yes, because it's in chapter 1 that some people commit suicide. It's in chapter 1 that is the longest. It's chapter 1 that people don't understand. Why? And it's in chapter 1 that you're looking at all your friends getting what somethings. Have you ever been in your most difficult time? And then all of a sudden you notice that John is getting married. You don't even have somebody to talk to, not to talk of getting married to. Oh, John is married. He's correcting me. I'm talking about when you are getting married. I know you are married. Nobody will take that away. Yeah, you know, John is in his chapter 4 of his life. But the challenge is when you try to compare yourself. And that's why I love that song. You've got times and season in your hands. I want to ask you a question. How is life treating you right now? Is it very difficult? Is it very challenging? Is it very painful? Is it very harsh? If you can just hold on to your root, to your Naomi. If you can just hold on to what God has given you, things will change. It did not stop at the winter time. The deception is for you to think that life only offers you winter. Life offers spring. The springtime is when you have arrived. You've arrived at Bethlehem, the house of bread. But the snow is melting. The spring is when the flower is coming up again. The spring is when in certain places they plant. But do you notice that in springtime, some people are harvesting? Because there are things you plant during the winter that you harvest. In springtime is when life begins to come out for some people. This is the time that you see geese coming back. Some of you have even forgotten that you have geese in Manitoba. But they will start coming back when the snow starts to melt. This is when Deborah will say in Judges chapter 5 verse 7, he says, village life ceased until I, Deborah, arose as a mother in Israel. This is that time of the year. Springtime. Springtime. Springtime is when everybody is excited to go out. But don't get me wrong. Springtime is still wet. It's still wet. It's still not the best of time, but at least it's still wet. But at least there is a ray of hope. It's not as dark again. Because during the winter, it is the darkest of the nights. The time for darkness. Do you know, I was talking with Mr. Chris the other day, and Mr. Chris was trying to let me know when he was out in the north, Nunavut, that during winter time, that usually they only have 1 hour or 2 hours of sunlight. The rest, 23 hours, is dark. And I understand that not many people survive the darkness. And please write this down. Your history is not your destination. So don't use where you are right now as if that is your permanent address. Don't make your situation right now permanent. But during springtime, it's when, listen, in the wintertime, everybody seems to be against the root. Do you know twice? Naomi encouraged Ruth to leave her. But in the springtime, she encouraged her to say, no, you can leave her. She encouraged her to say, go out and glean. Because some people during springtime are harvesting while others are planting. This is where the reaper overtakes the sower overtakes the reaper, or the reaper overtakes the sower, whatever it is, according to John chapter 4. But listen to me. This is the time that this lady goes out. I need you guys, I need people. Quickly. This is when This is when you have servants. This is when she comes from behind. And these people are gleaning, are harvesting. Some things are falling off. She is just looking for handouts. This is where people look for handouts of life. That job you are going to right now, that they're giving you minimum wage, is a harvest. It's owned by somebody else's company. Somebody else owns that company, and you're working for them. And guess what is happening? They're just throwing some things at you. Whether you like it or not, they're throwing it at you. Begin to throw at her. Many times they throw the good stuff. Many times they throw the bad stuff. But listen to me. As they throw the bad stuff, you don't have to pick it. But when they throw the good stuff, you can pick it. The challenge is that don't be offended right now because you are behind some people. If only you knew where your story came from. Your story was that you are from winter. You should be grateful that right now you are in the springtime. You should be grateful that you are in Bethlehem. You should be grateful that you have broken the curse of that generation of Moab. That you are able to pick some things. This is where gratitude is very important. And many of us at this stage, we're not grateful. We're full of complaints. But guess what she does? She's grateful that life is throwing some things at her. She's grateful that she's not getting everything she wants. This is where you use the statement, I'm not where I'm supposed to be, but I'm not where I used to be. It's just springtime. It's the second season of life. It is the time some people are harvesting, some people are sowing. But it is the time those who are harvesting are dropping some things for some people. Not necessarily on purpose, but accidentally. It is the time that the crumbs are falling off the master table and the dog is eating out of the crumbs. But at least the dog, when they eat, they get their healing. It is the springtime. It is a sign of life. But it is at this time that Boaz shows up in the scene. Boaz coming to the scene. And Boaz observed. Notice that there are several people that are gleaning behind. Several people gleaning behind. No, ladies. Several people gleaning behind. Gleaning behind. Gleaning behind. There are several ladies gleaning behind. But Boaz noticed there is one that stood out. Have you noticed that in that company, there will be several of you, but only one stands out for a prize. Only one stands out for an hour. It is not that you don't have the skills. It is because there is something called attitude. Because this one is from Bethlehem. She's from the nation of Israel. This one from the nation of Israel. This one from the nation of Israel. And many a times, sons who have belonged to the house are the ones that complain the most. Those of you that are immigrants, did you remember the first time you came to Canada? Immediately you landed in this country. Everything that this country gave you, you were happy about. But after some few years, you have now become landlords. You complain about everything. The same winter you liked when you landed, now the winter is long. You complain about Justin Trudeau. In fact, you are not even in the US, you complain about Donald Trump. How has Donald Trump got to do with you? You complain about Donald Trump. You complain about Justin Trudeau. You complain about Brian Pallister. You complain about everybody. In fact, you complain about your pastor. Oh yeah, I know you complain about me. Don't think I don't know. Oh yeah, I know. I see all of you complaining. Yes, you complain about everybody. But while you are busy complaining, with an attitude, your Boaz is watching you. Boaz is your type of Christ. This is Christ. He's watching you. And these are angels. And some of the angels are very mean. Oh, read Exodus, it will tell you that some of them, they will not, when you sin, they don't take it lightly. Angels don't operate in mercy. They don't have that word in their dictionary. And they drop things at you. All of these people, they feel it's their right. They feel it's their right. It's not just our turn, it's our right. And these ones are dropping some things. Mercy drops around you, are falling. Instead of you be grateful to God that you are seeing another day, you are complaining that they didn't give you increase. Instead of you be grateful that you have a school to go to, you are grateful that you are complaining that your teacher showed up late. Instead of you be grateful that you are married, you are complaining that your spouse did not make tea for you. So you see, some people can't even understand the issue of tea. Yeah, there are some spouses that complain that tea is not being made for them. I know. Effie, you don't understand that, right? Because for you should just be grateful that you are. Effie, you should be grateful that you are. She says she's grateful that she's single. Come on, let's celebrate her. Let's celebrate her. And I love that you can be grateful that you are single and enjoy and maximize understanding being single, because very soon you'll be getting into an issue called marriage. At that stage, it's in chapter 2 that Boaz notices an attitude which is the difference maker. That of all these people, only this damsel called Ruth, called beauty, only this damsel is grateful. I want to talk to some people that are grateful for life. Oh, Shadaba, Sodobaba. Grateful that I'm not there yet, but I'm thankful that I'm still breathing. I didn't have a sale yesterday, but I'm thankful that I have a business. Oh, Shadaba. Those are the ones that heaven is looking at and noticing. And it was when heaven saw her. When Boaz saw her, Boaz said, "Who is that?" And they said, "This is her resume." He said, "Drop things for her on purpose." When you are grateful for one, God adds more. That's in chapter 2. Why didn't they drop things for these ones? Because these ones feel that it is their privilege, it is their right. But they drop things for her. But that's chapter 2. That's the spring. Why do you think you go through adversity? Because Ruth knew where she was coming from. When you see people misbehave in life, it's because they've not gone through some challenges. When you lost some things, anytime God gives you certain things, you know how to be grateful. But when people have not gone through anything, I love the people that normally come and just give a testimony. I've never been this. I've never been this. I've never been this. I've never been this. So I just thank God. You know why you talk proudly? It's because you have never been through what I've been through. And if you have not lost some things, you don't have the right words for me. Because you don't feel me. You talk from a side of an expert. But Ruth was grateful. And chapter 2 ended. Now we're in chapter 3. The chapter 3 of your life is the summer months of your life. It's when everybody has dispersed. When Ruth went back, and these ones, they didn't know that they failed the exams. And everybody went. And Boaz was at the threshing floor. Threshing floor is the chapter 3 of your life. Let me tell you the truth, church, as I try to round up this message right now, that it is in this place that you notice that from springtime to almost fall time, actually from summer, from springtime you start to go through tornadoes. Hurricanes begin to come through. It is the trees that are deeply rooted that withstand the tornadoes of life, the hurricanes of life. So while the condition was harsh, instead of complaining, Ruth was growing deeper. Because life is going to throw some things at you. And the question is that, will you be prepared? Don't forget, I didn't forget the 3 names. Your birth name, your given name, but your secret name. Hold on to that secret name. It's not everybody that knows about that name. It is at this place that Naomi said, shall I not get rest for you? You've been with me through the winter of life. You've come through the spring of life. I need to get you a rest. You see that man? That's your kinsman redeemer. He's at the threshing floor. It's in chapter 3. Ruth did not know this, but Naomi knew it. Said, if you can go to him, and don't make yourself known, just stay, cover yourself at his feet. I didn't come to ask for anything. I just came to worship. This is where we were on all night. When all we did was worship, we dug the well of worship. We dug it. It's our chapter 3. It's the summer. It is when some people begin to miss their opportunity. This is during the time that people go camping. This is the time that some people even stop coming to church because they have to go camping. This is the time some people travel. Summer road trips. Oh, this is the time. That summer of happiness. This is them. Yeah, summer of happiness. Where are they? Yes, summer of happiness. Yeah, this is that time. Yes. But for some, this is the time to come into the feet of Boaz. Because there is harvest time coming. The question is that what happens when your harvest shows up? What happens when your harvest shows up? What happens when it's time for harvest and you have nothing to harvest? This is that time. This is that season. This is that opportunity. It is your harvest time. It is the time to prepare for harvest. This is the time that Naomi said, go and stay there. But this is the time some people go fishing. This is the time that people just feel that. And that's why the Bible said, go and learn from the ants. In chapter 6 of Proverbs, he said, they know what to do. They gather during the summer. This is what she's doing. It's at this stage that when he discovers her, he says, who are you? She says, spread your garment over me. That means cover me. Cover me. Cover me. The reason why I need to cover you is I've gone through so much. I've gone through so much alone. I've gone through the winter of life alone. I've gone through the spring of life when people throw things at me. When people call me names. The reason why God asked me to preach this message, He didn't ask me to preach it for everybody. He asked me to preach it for somebody that is going through something. When it looks as if you came out from one thing and people call you out. Have you ever been misunderstood, been misquoted? Have you ever tried to compare yourself with each other? Why is it that things are happening for this person, things are not happening for me? Why is it that this church is growing and ours is not growing? Why is it that this person is married and I'm not married? Why is it that this person has these children and I don't have? Why is it that this person has money and I don't have money? Why is it that this person has this and I don't have this? Why? The question is, stop focusing on that. That may be their fall. That may be their harvest. But for me, it may be my winter. Let me dig deeper. Let me dig deeper. One thing I know is that every one of us, God is not a partial God. He gives winter. I love to preach from what Jesus did. You know, many of us like to talk about Jesus giving us bread, right? When he took that loaf, what did he do? The first thing he did, he took it. Please forget it. This is not a loaf. But something like, let's say this is a loaf of bread. The first thing he did, he blessed it. The next thing, he broke it. This is not easy to break. He broke it. The breaking is very difficult. Many of us have gone through some breakings. Many of us have gone through, our lives have gone through some breakings. I want to talk to people who things were okay for them at one time. And all of a sudden, things change. I want to talk to some people that are called Jobs. I want to talk to some people that are called Habakkuk, who will wonder, why is it that others are rejoicing and we are not rejoicing? It is your breaking point. And in Habakkuk chapter 3, verse 17, says, though the fig tree may not blossom, though the olive tree may fail, though there not be grape on the tree, there not be sheep on the stall, I will still learn to do one thing. I will sing and I will shout, even in my darkest hour, through the sorrows and the pain, I will sing and I will shout. I may not understand it. This is the time people leave you. Have you ever wondered why people have not been calling your number again? I've noticed many a times people don't call me again. Are you like that? Have you ever wondered why people don't visit you again? Have you ever wondered why there is no... Don't focus on the people that left you. Focus on what you have left. You didn't hear me. Because that's a message you needed to write or to tweet it down. Don't focus on people that left you. Focus on what you have left. Be grateful with what you have left. You have breath. You have life. You have family. You have friends. Focus on that. When Jesus cut it, guess what he did? He gave it. Gave it out. It is at that time he said, cover me. And the meaning of covering is spread your garment and cover my nakedness. Can you cover her? What that means, it's symbolic. Cover me. Songs of Solomon chapter 8 verse 8. We have a sister who has no breasts. What do we do on the day of our visitation? If I were a wall, I'll build a gate there. Cover me. This is that time when things are tough. Pastor David, this is the time that your true friends will try to hide your mistakes, not expose your mistakes. Because all of us here, if God will show some of the foolish, stupid things we've done, please forgive me, I'm not insulting anyone. But if God will show, Daniel Wilkie, if God will show some stupid, foolish things that I've done, where will I be? But it's at this stage that all she said, just cover me. Cover me. It's my chapter 3. I've been through so much. Can I talk to a single lady here? You've gone through a time that you needed a covering of a man. And you're wondering, Lord, when will somebody throw a cover over me? And God is saying, I want to bring the right person your way. You're looking at this person and looking at that person. They may look as if they are the Boaz. They are not. Don't allow looks deceive you. He may look so muscular. He may have the beard. He may have the money. But I understand season. You have come through some harsh times. I don't want to send you to another harsh time. Because what you are seeing with that person right now, very soon, it will blow away. I know somebody who made a mistake. They saw a young man who has lots of money. Lots of money. And they were saying, Pastor, I want to marry this person. I say, no, let me pray first. By the time I'm trying to finish prayer, they say, Pastor, I said yes. Look at the ring. I say, I've not prayed. You say you have said yes. I say, oh. I say, Lord, help me with this generation. They got married. I'm not sure that marriage lasted 2 years. No. I think it lasted maybe 2 years. I was in Bahamas with my wife enjoying my holiday. It was while I was there that this person reached out to me, said, there is fire on the mountain. Hear me. You've been through so much, but yet you quickly settle down for him right now because he looks so muscular, mustache. He has everything. He's working at a company. He's one of the CEOs, the talk of the town. He has six packs, and then he just and he's handsome, and when he walks with swag. But the challenge is that you are only limited by what you see. There is a God that sees the end from the beginning. And while you are trying to focus on that, God is saying, go to that old man. He said, no, he said, go to that old man. Why do I need to go to that old man? Oh, you didn't read your Bible? Bawa said in chapter 3, he said, I am glad you did not go to after the young man. That means he's old. Say, what will I do with that man who is already married? I can't be a second wife. And please, I'm not preaching polygamy here, but I'm telling you a Bible story. I said, this person will cover you, while this person will expose you. As I wrap up this message, he said in chapter 4, the story ended where this person, forget about what happened at the city gate, the decision and everything, married her. When he married her, he covered her. You know why he covered her? Nobody was willing to take her. But he took her because he also went through the same thing. He's from the generation of Rahab the harlot. Guess what? He could understand her situation, and he covered her. She was gleaning from behind, and now that he covered her, he said, baby, all that is mine is yours. Did you find that with Jesus? Is that what Jesus said to you? All that is mine is yours. All that the Father gave me is yours. All you need to do, just use my name. If you can just use the name of Jesus. If you can just use my name, which is Boaz, your kinsman redeemer. If you can just know how to call on my name, that name will open gates. That name will give you title deeds. That name, oh Shadabasoto Balakaba, will see you through. Stand to your feet. This is where the story ends happily ever after. A slave becomes a landlord. A widow becomes a married woman. Naomi said, can I give you some aid? Even if I give birth, will you wait for him to get married? She said, you may not give birth, but you might point me. This is where I love. Even when she gave birth to her first child, she brought her first fruit to Naomi. She didn't say, well, I have the baby, it's mine now. No, she recognized, if it was not because of your blessing, I wouldn't have gotten to Boaz.